So, Lawrence, every therapist needs a supervisor.
Hmm.
And could you give us maybe your thoughts on how to go about finding a supervisor
Yeah.
and how to know if a supervisor is right for you?
Mm. Yeah. So yeah, every therapist needs a supervisor. It's a requirement. So well, I suppose there's the obvious way. Go on to Google, type in supervisor and your location, and see who pops up. That's actually how I went about it. And then also I I spoke with my peers from college, and I asked them if they could recommend a supervisor. And then you kind of I've come across supervisors along the way, like some of the lecturers in my college were supervisors. So yeah, there's different ways. Yeah, Google, through networking and word of mouth, and then when it comes to actually like booking sessions with the supervisors, when I got in touch with the various supervisors, we arranged to have a chat over the phone initially. So that was really good because you just got to feel for each other before making the commitment to actually meet in person, um, and the time and effort that requires. So I spoke, the way I approached it was at a minimum, I spoke and met with two supervisors, and I made a point, irrespective of if I had a sense of I'm definitely going to go with this therapist after just the phone
Mm-hmm.
conversation. I, I, so say I spoke with two supervisors, two potential supervisors. I arranged to meet them, and then I met the first one. And then the first one, I was kind of like, oh, I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with this one. But then I made a point of meeting the second one, irrespective of my thoughts and feelings around the
Mm-hmm.
first one. And then after meeting the second one, it kind of solidified my initial decision,
Yeah.
And it was just small little factors that helped me make that decision, Um, and yeah, and then I just told the first supervisor that I'd like to go with him.
Yeah.
And then we booked our first session together, our first official session. And at that stage, I didn't have any clients,
Yeah.
So I was meeting with the supervisor, and I didn't have any clients like really to discuss. But that's okay, because there's always things to talk about
Yeah.
with your supervisor, just around, your professional development,
Yeah.
So that was pretty much my personal journey of finding my supervisor.
Yeah. Someone wasn't too dissimilar. We were given like so everybody needs a supervisor, and I think contact hours when you're a student, it might be like it's like 1 to 8 or something like that. Maybe every 8 hour, 8 client hours you do, you need to see a supervisor, and then once you're qualified, I think it's 1 to 20. So generally, when you do have a supervisor, you're going to be seeing your supervisor, every week or two, maybe, depending on how many clients you have.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs. How much does it cost? It costs more than it costs to see a client. So it's generally they charge, depending on the supervisor, but generally you have to pay for it, and it could cost somewhere between 50 and €100, I'd say,
Yeah,
per
yeah.
hour that you see a supervisor. And then I got a short list. A lot of times people get a short list of supervisors who have worked with students from the college before. So I got a big list with like 100 names on it.
Oh, okay.
And that was what happened in college. So I
Yeah.
just went straight to the bottom of the list because I
Mm.
thought that people would start at the top of the list.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So I went straight to the bottom of the
Yeah.
list, and there's a guy, I won't say his name, he was a really nice guy,
Mhm.
and his last name begins with a W, so he was way down the bottom of the
I
list.
thought it was W or Z.
W,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just gave him a call, and I chatted to him straight away, and I just thought, yeah, he seems really nice.
Mhm.
Because obviously, generally they will seem quite nice because of years of experience
Mm.
and dealing with people. And then again, I just called someone else. I called a couple of different people, and I just felt like I gel with this person the best. But I will say there was one or two people that I called that I thought, like, I don't know, this person, I'm not really vibing with them. I wouldn't go so far as say I didn't like them, but there's lots of different types of people out there.
Mhm.
And you're an individual, so you got to find someone you feel like you gel with.
Mm.
So then I set up a very short 5-minute call, then we set up a formal call, and then we met in person, and I went with the W supervisor for college. And then after college, generally people change. I'm not sure what the rules are, but I think
You have to change.
You have to change.
do
You have to change.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to change. That has to do with power dynamic. You know, you were a student. You're not a student anymore. Like you're a qualified professional.
That's exactly the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's a collaborative role. You have a lot of supervision. You're under a lot of supervision when you're a student. When you get qualified, it's a collaborative guidance kind of experience. You know, you're expected to be a little bit more autonomous. But of course, your supervisor's there to keep you safe. So again, I got a short list from the college I was in, and I went down. I made a couple of phone calls. I ended up chatting to this guy. I won't say his name, but just straight away, I just kind of like, I like this person, someone I feel like can be open and honest with.
Yeah.
And been with him ever since, and we chat on the phone kind of every 2 weeks. And we just break down client works and stuff like that. And there is, as you said, there's a huge part that's about professional development, and that's advice around like, you know, CPD and where you're going to end up specializing in, and even just talking about what's going on in your own life. Like supervision isn't therapy, but you do talk about, well, I do at least, I talk about kind of what's going on in my personal life to an extent, as it relates to my professional, like stress or anything like that, or balls. Like, do you want to know what's going on in your life? Yeah, so that's how you get a supervisor. You might get a short list from college, or you get you can literally just get on Google, and then you just have to make sure they're cleared with whatever accredited body you're with, and that's it. You chat to them if you're a student, 1 to 20, and if you're qualified, I think it's about 1 to 8 that you chat to them.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah,
thereabouts, and you're allowed change whenever you want. So it's not like you might get a supervisor and have them for 6 months, and kind of go like, maybe we're moving in a different direction. And that's okay too. And yeah, so there you go. That's how to find a supervisor.
Okay.
Cheers.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.